Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the GeForce GTX 780 Ti 3GB model in Forza Horizon 5. This one is the Gainward Phantom edition of the card. Ooh, because ghosts. And as usual, we're using the latest Nvidia drivers available to it, which are 472.98. We're not manually overclocking the card because it's a factory OC'd model and because most people won't overclock. And over in Tech PowerUp's GPU-Z, you can see all of its specs, along with the 3GB of GDDR5, 2880 CUDA cores, and finally, over on the left, we're using a Ryzen 9 5900X and 32GB of RAM with it, just to avoid any CPU or RAM bottlenecks, but you should get by with something like a Ryzen 3 3100 or an old i7 with 16GB of RAM. Let's get right into it, shall we? And also, by get by, I mean you'll get the same FPS with a slower CPU. Let's go! So we're playing at 1080p resolution, and I think that's the only resolution that we're testing in this video because it's adequate for a 780 Ti, I believe. Low settings preset at the moment, and we're also going to test this out on medium, high, and ultra settings. Okay, so the problem with the low settings, guys, is that MSAA anti-aliasing is not really being utilized, and the edges are super pixelated. Look at that, guys. This is why the other presets, the higher presets, actually use MSAA at 2x by default. Come on, mate, we already lost a mirror. And the FPS, guys, the FPS are nothing special. I really expected higher coming from a 780 Ti here. What the hell? Like, this GPU can actually match a GTX 1063 gig in some games, especially older titles, but it is struggling here. Like, it's not really struggling, but this is low settings, and I thought we'd get these FPS at medium settings. Now I'm thinking that medium will probably drop from 60. Anyways, look at that frame time graph. It doesn't even move. It's super stable and smooth. I think you're gonna have a really good experience with the 780 Ti here if you want to play at low settings, but like low settings is just it doesn't look as good as medium. Like it's far. There goes our other mirror. The visual fidelity is far better on medium settings. Are we racing this guy right here? Like, I'm hearing him very close to us. Anyways, let's go. Let's keep on going here. Also, why the hell am I using mouse and keyboard while I have a controller right here? Alright, we're gonna go with the controller now. 69% lows. Maybe this is, after all, the most adequate settings for the GTX 780 Ti. This is the most, no, these are the most adequate settings, yes. VRAM usage is under control, and looking at the entire city, 60s, low 50s, it drops from 60 on low settings. I am really disappointed right now. No! Little edge. Oh my god. I guess it's because the Kepler architecture is already 10 years old, guys. So this GPU itself is 80 years old, but the Kepler architecture, which released with the 600 series, oh my god, it drops into the 40s there, is 10 years old. So considering that it's 10 years old architecture, I guess it's not too bad that Forza Horizon 5 drops from 60 at low settings, but this is a very well optimized game. But apparently not very optimized for older GPUs. Because again, this on paper is as fast as a 1063 gig. It could also very well be because of, that's a massive jump by the way, the DirectX 12 that this game runs on. Because these GPUs are actually running DirectX 12 feature level 11. So that is a bit of a bummer. And it definitely hurts performance in these newer titles. That's why some of the newer DirectX 12 titles don't even launch on Kepler GPUs, like Elden Ring, for example. So let's go up to medium settings, which does enable MSAA, and this is not an intensive setting in this game, by the way. The difference between this enabled or disabled is about like 2 or 3 frames per second. Okay, medium settings. You can see now that those lines look way better. They look way smoother than on low settings. And let's get out of here because otherwise we will lose a mirror. There's a guy coming. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening? No. Dude, what? Why are you disconnected? Alright, the controller doesn't want to work anymore. We gotta go with mouse and keyboard, but considering that I suck with either one, it's fine. Alright. So it's already dropping from 60 around here at times, guys. That's not very impressive, but it does look a heck of a lot better than the low settings preset, doesn't it? So I guess maybe these are more adequate for the 780 Ti, especially considering that it already drops from 60 on low. By the way, there is a very low settings preset, but I really don't recommend you to use that because it just looks completely terrible. It looks like a game from like 10 years ago. Oh boy! God damn it. Why? Why can't I break everything? There should be a mod for this game where you can actually run over everything and destroy everything. That would be fun, right? Like Bad Company style. All of the map is destroyable. Let's go here. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. See, this only happens with mouse and keyboard, I think. I don't think this happens with the controllers, so yeah, you should use a controller for this game for the best experience, although you don't need to, obviously. Anyways, I'm surprised to see that the VRAM is not maxed out here on medium settings. I thought it would go over 3 gigabytes, but no, it's doing a pretty good job there. And oh no, 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 it drops from 50 even on medium. This is totally unexpected. Coming into this, I thought the 780 Ti would do a much better job, as I told you. Yeah. Wow, look at that drift. That was way better than before. Okay, look in that direction. 60, 58, 57. And for the last very demanding thing that you have to do here in the benchmark run, you, not you, me, 40 FPS getting out of the tunnel there. That's like the most intensive thing that you do in this game, is getting out of tunnels for some reason. It's pretty weird, I know. And yeah, it's not that good, but I mean, it's a car game, it's a racing game. If you're not playing this game competitively, which like 99% of you aren't, I think you're good for a pretty decent experience. And the medium settings also look way better than low, so I would totally pick these instead of low. But not really sure about high, though. High might drop a little bit further. Oh my god, what am I doing? Just breaking the car. Also, I don't think I showed you this, but every time you launch the game, this warning pops up saying that the drivers are not really supported. So that may have to do with like the lower than expected performance as well. Okay, shut up.
Option
1080p. High. Alright, showing you again. Let's continue.
Shut
up! High settings. I wonder if we will start seeing those warnings, those VRAM warnings now, because we are actually VRAM maxed out at the moment, but it is not really stuttering. So let's get to the city area once again. Actually, we got the first frame time spike of the video, I believe, or the first noticeable one at least. Oh, we're right around 69 FPS on average. I wonder, will it be possible, guys? Because if it is possible to get 69 on average, I will say that is the best experience ever. Well, we already know that it will drop immensely when we get to the city. I just wonder, will it drop into the 30s? Probably, right? Especially... Oh man, this should be destructible. I guess if it was destructible, the game would perform a little bit worse, so maybe it's a good thing that it isn't. High is probably like the minimum settings I would use with a recent GPU. And I don't know if you noticed, but we got the first warning here of the video, first VRAM warning, which doesn't really matter too much, honestly. The game is not stuttering, it shouldn't happen too often. Okay, I'm a little bit lost right now. This is not the way. This is not the way. I think, yes, it's in that direction. Come on, again. Every single time. This is hard to control with this. Well, at least most of the time, if you travel around the map a lot, you will get 60 plus. I guess that's not too bad, right? And for a car game, a racing title like this one, I don't really need 60 plus all of the time. Although whenever it drops into the 40s, it starts looking a little bit less good, right? A little bit not smooth. Like, what is the opposite of smooth? Rough, I guess. It starts looking a little bit rough. Still not bad, honestly. I think I would play this game absolutely fine like this. Well, not absolutely fine because I suck at it a little bit, but hey, it doesn't drop from 30. If you want to lock your FPS to like 40 frames and have a smoother experience, you can do that. It will feel smoother than the FPS jumping around 60 to 40 to 60 to 40 to 80, you know. So that's always an option here with the 780 Ti. It's still perfectly doable at high settings. Let's try it out on Ultra, however. That should be way more intensive. I think there's a huge difference between these two presets, High and Ultra, both in quality and performance as well. Blah, 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 1080p, blah, 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 blah. Ultra settings, blah, 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 7 options, yes.
Value
Control
selector.
tab pipe,
Current
value
value.
selected, current value.
Value 2 of 2.
Value
Enter
2.
or exit full screen.
Very important.
This can be achieved at any time using the key combination Alt plus Enter.
Okay, so on Ultra settings, it's starting to become really bad now. I think it will drop from yes, it does drop from 30. 29 there. I'm curious to see what kind of FPS we'll get in the city. And by the way, when it started, we got the first VRAM warning. I think we will see that much more often here on Ultra. It does look so much better though, and it's not really stuttering all that much, honestly. I've seen like a couple of frame time spikes so far. They are more noticeable than on high settings, by the way. There it is again, warning, low video memory. I've seen this Reddit meme of God creating crisp. There's a big stutter, by the way, in the frame time graph. But yeah, he put a lot of little dust, you know, the skill dust, I guess, in CSGO and the FPS games, and very few in driving games. And that's exactly right, guys. I think that's exactly what happened. He just forgot about driving games for me, so I really suck at it. Anyways, it's not unplayable, right? If you lock the FPS to 30 and maybe overclock the card a little bit, you should be able to get 30 plus all of the time. But we haven't reached the city yet, and that's where it's going to drop the most, obviously. So I really don't know what kind of FPS we'll see there. Oh boy, please don't crash. All right, we're good. I think anything above like 27 frames per second would be great, because that means with an overclock you could get higher than that. And 30, oh boy, no, 26, well, it's oh, 24, 23, are you serious? And the VRAM warning again, yeah, that's a little bit obnoxious, you know, the warnings every single time. It's not really stuttering. I wish there was a way to disable those, but if the FPS drop into the 20s at times in certain areas of the map, I don't think this is a viable option here, guys. High settings was just way better. It never dropped from 30, so go for that if you are looking for the visual fidelity experience. Look at this, 24. Oh, 18 frames per second minimum. Yeah, whenever you get 18 frames per second minimum, you know that it's not a good experience, right? It's pretty rough here. Although I am actually driving a little bit better than in the previous settings, so that's something. And I will leave you with a little bit of Rocket League here, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Gosh, like Rocket League is one of my worst games ever in terms of skills. You know, I just completely, I can't do anything in there. And I can't really do anything in here. Well, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you in the next one very soon, possibly today still. So keep tuned in. Love you all. Bye-bye.